Hey, everybody. Everybody who's here and everybody who shows up later. How's it going? Just getting into a couple of things set up. Doing a little promo, self-promo throughout the Discords. All right, what do y'all think of this? This is the Eve 65. This is not the keyboard we're looking at today. Hey, End of Greatness. Good seeing you. Been a little bit. Been a couple weeks since I've been on. We had the keyboard meetup last week, and it was great. And our next keyboard meetup is going to be in Boulder, and it's going to be on the 17th. People want to show up. So, but yeah, I built out the Eve 65 with Emma, and I think it looks just absolutely great. And put cilantros in it. I think it came out really nice. We've got a couple of new boards that we're going to be looking at possibly today, but the first and foremost is this guy. So this is the Work Louder creator board, and this board retailed. Go ahead and plug it in. This is a low profile ortholinear keyboard with a unique connection arrangement thing it's got going on here. This was originally $379 when it came out. And yeah, so I don't think it's worth that much. They are knobs. I mean, it has all kinds of knobs that you can program for different things. So it's supposed to be like, if you're working on different like Photoshop and stuff, you can configure these to do zoom and forward, and just that's kind of its deal. And we'll look at the VIA compatibility, which is going to be where this board hopefully is going to shine. So by default, just to show you, and we'll pause the music for a second. So this is what it sounds like out of the box. So this does not sound great to me. So that's kind of the problem. So there's a few design problems with it, and we'll take a look at that. But the first one is that it does use soldered switches. These are the brown switches. So it feels, it feels like browns, which is to say, for people who are unfamiliar with it. Mango, thank you for the raid. Just was talking to you, so it's great to see you. Yeah, we're taking a look at the Nano, or the Creator Board by Work Louder. This stream is more, or at least the beginning of the stream, I don't know how. I mean, this thing just it's not the best. Let's see. They do. So those can be configured for, you know, whatever. So this is again, just as a quick thing, this is how they are essentially out of the box. This is the brown switch version. So it uses Kale low profile browns. I have to get used to it ortholinear, so. So out of the box, and it's not really the board's fault, but I am not a fan of the switches. I wish they were hot swappable, but they're not. But what is hot swappable, and this is one of the things that we're going to look at first, is that you can actually rearrange the board. So, oh, you're in an ad. Hold on. Before I start this next part, let's see. You're not the right bit. Bits. Where are my bits at? Hey, look. Nope. It's even bigger. There you are. Okay. One of the neat things about this board, and probably the only redeeming factor for me, is that you can rearrange the configuration of the board. So in this particular case, we'll scan you later. The board has all of these standoffs that stay with it. Let's go ahead, put the last one there. And then we can take this off. Yes, the cylinders are able to press down. And like I was saying, one of the neat things about this board is that it's reconfigurable. Each of these component sections are able to shift around the board depending on how you would like it configured. So in my case, I think I would prefer to have the keyboard part on the left side and that knob on the right side, but I think I also want to have the knob up at the top. So we're going to see if I can do that. So, take these off. Did you have a good stream, Mango? I mean, I like I said, I was there for most of it, so I hope you enjoyed yourself. I love that board. I don't know that I'm gonna like. I wish they were smoother. I mean, they're not. They have a bump to them. So if I'm doing work where I'm trying to scroll through stuff, sometimes I like a free scroll, but I understand why it has a bump, because otherwise you'll just be spinning them all the time. But yeah. Alright, so we should be able to as you can see here, there are different connectors depending on where you want stuff. And we're going to need all of your new little standoffs. So let's see. I want you like this or like that. I think we want you like this. And then we're going to put you here. You are going to go here. And you are going to go here. But like this. So this is really kind of showing off what, like, the primary component of what this board can do, which is to be whatever configuration you want, hopefully. And that's the goal here. So, we could probably just still leave this one here. Alright, so let's get some standoffs back in. So I'm going to put all of the knobs right by each other. It's like a celebration of knobs. I think I'm just going to wait and tighten everything down at once. Go. I'm missing one or two. I'm missing one. I'm missing one. Where is it? Oh, no. No, not. No, not. Okay, I was just crazy. So this. Yeah, you can control where you want everything to be on the board, and then you reconfigure everything in via this okay, let's see. This last one in place, and then we'll finish screwing it all down, and then we'll take a look at the VIA configuration for it. Yeah, I mean, that's where it shines. By the way, for all the new people who are joining me today, I welcome. I am the Adept, and I've been building keyboards for a few years now, since probably 2019. Been streaming for maybe the past year, I would say. Mostly budget keyboards, because that's what I can afford. I do have some nicer keyboards that I enjoy, but you know, a lot of the budget love. But I think that is an underserved market for creators and for giving a really honest opinion. And if by honest opinion, I actually mean that if you want somebody who really dislikes glorious keyboards, you're at the right place. So now we should be able to plug this up. Everything's going to come back online. Let's see. I got lights, I got no feed. Let me try my other cable. Sometimes that guy just doesn't supply enough power. There we go. Right. So we're not going to use this cable for this. That can go back into its little place. That's good. So, yeah. So now we've reconfigured it to something that's a little bit more the Adept. Putting all of our knobs over here so you can feel like you're in some sort of like weird mission control. Via. I don't see the loop pad on here. Which is interesting. So, let me show the window. So, oh, actually, you can't see the thing, but essentially, we'll connect them both. So this is the NanoPad. So it's these guys right here. You can configure them however you want, and we'll come back to that. Oh, and there's the loop pad. But the loop pad is not here in my... Oh, well, we'll see if that actually works. I am not putting that there. So since I've inverted this, I'll need to reconfigure this so that it is F1. Actually, it's gonna be 9. There we go. So this now is F1 through F9. Not that I really need that. And then you can set your second layer. But we will reconfigure something for that. It's probably going to be one of these guys. Yeah. So let's go back over to the workboard. This wants to be our function 1, so that's fine. This wants to be our function 2, and that is also good. So okay. This wants to be MO3. I'm not sure about that. Okay. This layout is jacked up. Alright. So I'm going to reconfigure this stuff. Print screen. Page up. It's going to be delete and page down. That is where I want it. So this is going to be our number row. So I should be able to go over to the tester, that and that. There we go. Alright. And then 4 and 9. Alright. So let's go back and let's take a look at the knobs. What can we do with a knob? Never mind. I know. I get it. So by default, this is set to volume control, and that's going to be this guy here, because remember, we're inverting everything. This currently winds to previous, next, and then play pause is here. And then, actually, I kind of like this. I don't know what these are, because it's not describing them to me. I don't like that. We'll come back to you. Let's see about the NanoPad. NanoPad, bring up. It's our knob here. Yeah, still don't know what those things are. What do I want these to be? What would I put over there? Can I layer shift up? What do y'all think? Any suggestions? What do I put over there? I can put my mouse buttons over there. Oh yeah, let's change the color. You have to change the color of each item individually. So let's see what we had. There's something a little bit more me. Oh. Nice. This is currently set to gradient, and that's fine. Solid color, light blue. Indicators enabled. Okay. So here we go. Kind of got my board configured most of the way that I want it, and we will kind of figure it out. So if I wanted to delete, I can do that. Okay. Uh-oh, ad break again. I'm going to take a quick drink. This is not sponsored by balls. Can't believe I'm talking about balls and knobs in the same stream, but I guess this is going to happen. All right. Tangy. Okay, so that's kind of the VIA setup, and it's interesting because when I was doing the configuration, like the loop pad is listed here. However, when I go to the list of VIA HID devices, it is not listed there, which is kind of odd. But when I cancel out of it, it then shifts over to it. So that's kind of the good stuff. Now, let me get this out of the way. First of all, there's the price. This is a $379 board. I don't know that I agree that this is a $379 board. If you have this lift on, which you can take this off to make it 0 degrees, there's no feet here to secure it from moving around on your desk. I mean, the bottom feet work pretty well, but it's not the best. So, but here's the thing that is really probably the biggest issue. And as soon as I showed this to some of the more commercials. What's going on with the commercials today? I'll hold off because I want to talk about this. In the meanwhile, I'm thinking about desoldering this board and resoldering it with something like Sunsets or Silver. It does have a little bit of flex to it, which is nice, and that's because it's just sitting on these standoffs, so the board can compress a little. But you can look up what the VIA codes are. So we're waiting. Go back to that window. Let's plug it in. No, let's see. Let's see if there's list. All right, welcome back. So let's talk about this, because I was waiting for the commercial to end. So probably the biggest problem with this board, and I wanted to make sure that everybody was here so they could see it, is this spacebar. So the spacebar has no stabilizer. So yeah, that's bad. I don't know if you can see that, and it's harder to see, but there you go. Yeah, you can see it. Look at that. So if you hit it on the side, it's gonna wiggle. You're not gonna get your press out over time, and it's shifting kind of like that. It's why you need to put a stabilizer in a 2U, and not putting one there is probably the biggest flaw of this board, because anything else can be changed except for that. You can't make holes there. There's no holes for stabilizers already here. If there were, I would put one in. I can desolder it, and I can put in 2 buttons here, and that's probably what I'm going to end up having to do to make this really work. But then I have to use a different keycap set, because now I don't have a 2U, because it didn't come with it. This literally came in a freaking bag. I mean, like, I thought I had the bag here, but yeah, like, it was just, it came in a box from Drop. Yeah. And then it was just in like a bag that was stuffed in the Drop box, because Drop is the vendor who is currently, or was currently, selling it. Again, this is supposedly a $379 board. It went on sale for Black Friday for $50, and then I had my Drop keyboard club, which brought that price down to $35. So I paid $35 for this. So this is a $35 board, and I can say that this is a $35 board. This is not a $379 board, and in no way, shape, or form, in my opinion. And the fact that they think that it would be is kind of bad on Work Louder. Using this as a, using it as a daily driver, I probably wouldn't be doing that anyway, because I don't want to get used to orthos. Everything I have is your standard layout. But the configuration part, where I'm able to move everything around, which, that it works great. And I think that this configuration is something that would work for me, but I wouldn't daily drive it. But I like it, and insofar as it's kind of a unique oddity. Yeah, I mean, it's not, well, different people will tell you, solder versus hot swap. I'm a hot swap guy, because if anybody has seen my streams, you'll know, and for those of you who are new and hopefully will join me in the future, this is this for now. This is, I change out switches a lot. In the words of Ernest Hemingway, I own a lot of switches. I mean, you can just see, like, this is a stack of switches right here. These are switches. I get switches here, more here. These are switches. And those are just the ones that I have waiting in the wings in case we need them for the stream. And then I have a bunch that I'm putting on sale. If you're interested in switches, let me know. Yeah, the price versus the value is just ridiculous. I mean, think about the boards that you can get for $379. That is just, I mean, get a Neo Ergo. I mean, it's, anyway. This is the second board that we're looking at today, and this was a gift actually from a friend. I helped fix her Lele Lab Magnum 65, and so she gifted me this KBDPad MkII, and so this is more of an unboxing and something that's cool and that I might use, and so we have our standard box on wedge with kind of this inner flare. I kind of like it. The bottom has the name KBDPad MkII, which is kind of jank, but all right. And there are 4 screws in the bottom that we're going to use to open this. I haven't looked at this yet. It's just been sitting here waiting for the right group of people, and that's you. Here's our PCB. Oh, hey, look, there's stabs in it already. I guess we'll use those to start. They sound kind of funny, but well, I'm just starting my journey with soldering, and I suck, and I'm not good at it, but I'm working on it, and we will see. Here's our little bit of foam, which we will be using because you'll find I am also a foam lover. Not in that way, but and that's it. That's all I got in this box. I don't know if this is the whole box since it was a gift, but we will go ahead and open this up. Okay, it is. I love the little QK screwdrivers that came with my QK100. I love using them more than I love using my iFixit. Because if it's just there and it's great, it works. It's stupendous. Did I mention that I picked up a Haven 65 for $245 in Burgundy, unbuilt? It'll be here next Friday, which means I'll have it for the next stream. So this is a top mount. And there are 4 Phillips head screws. Grrr, I don't like Phillips head. Just for the same reason that no one else likes Phillips head. I agree with them. Phillips head loves to strip, and so if I can, I will be replacing these. Let's see. Ignore that. Just need one of you guys. I gotta switch up a little bit. Let's see if you are the right size. Like a glove. Okay, good. So the first things first, we're gonna ditch the Phillips head, silver Phillips head, because this is a black and gold bill. Well, it is for now. And we will be using instead these little guys. So we'll switch this to hex. And I'll just drop it. My giant sausage fingers. I'm calling my man fingers. Let's not do that. That sounds weird. Anybody watch Stranger Things yet? Any season? Or anything else cool going on? So it's top mount, but it's going to be friction fit in the board. So that's interesting. Alright, so here's our board. It is brass, which is kind of neat. Gives it a little bit of weight, but not too much because it's still just a number pad. Here's our foam on our board. As you can see, there's per key RGB. And that is going to help me decide what switches we're going to use today. Interesting that these two are inverted. So the switches I will be working with today are going to be these. These are the MkII switches. I love these guys. But one of the features of them is that they are an HMX switch that has a milky housing. Come on. Go. You're in there, you're in there. So if you have a board like this one, and I need to get more HMX and I might order them, because right now Unikeys is having a giveaway for people who buy from their site. Check out my beacons and use my affiliate code to give me a little kickback. Which is always appreciated because, you know, anybody who purchases using my affiliate link, I get 7% back. So, what are you doing? You're good. Okay. Let's do the inverted one. In building a numpad, it's kind of interesting because then you start thinking about what boards do I have that I'm not using the numpads on? Because then, you know, it just kind of opens up a whole lot of choices. Today I'm going to be building this with the retro mix lights. So if you look over my shoulder, you can actually see that I have the KBDPad MkII with the retro mix lights dark alpha set. So I still have the light alphas that I'm going to use on this. And I'm excited about that. So, where's my sets? I've got everything in here except for the plus, which I'll need to go into the main set right there. Okay. Alright. It's pretty good. And this is the retro mix lights main set. Let me open this bad boy up. See, I don't use too many cherry switches. I mainly, again, I use a lot of HMX switches, as you can, if you can see. Those are mirrors. Then I have the new Ice Lotus tactiles. Below that, I have the cilantros, which are the mirrors, and the cilantros are a collab with Akko, but they're HMX switches. And then I also have. Oh, right. I was originally going to build this with something else, and I decided against it. Let's see what we got here. Do I have a full board's worth of stuff? I do. Sort of. Or do I? Maybe I can't do it with retro mixed lights. I do not have another plus. Well, that's lame. Retro mixed lights. Damn it. Plan B. Oh, I love Plan B. Plan B is so much fun. Alright. Anybody ever watch Friends? Pivot. This is actually the second time today that this leftover set has disappointed me. Alright. I'll deal with you later. You later. Which means I gotta pull what's on there off. Oh, right. We also need to open our day 14 on our Advent switch calendar. Let's do that in a second before I run downstairs and grab a different keycap set. Why don't we just mount you and get you out of the way? What's up, Sarah? How are you? I didn't watch it in its first run until like probably maybe the last season. You know, I've never owned a Sony cell phone. I came really close. And then instead, I went with that. This is obviously years ago when they had the Nokia Windows 8 phones with the 40 megapixel camera, which was like groundbreaking at the time, with the Zeiss lenses on it and stuff. And at the time, I was starting to go to sci-fi fantasy conventions, and I take a lot of pictures of cosplayers when I go to conventions. So I wanted a phone camera because I don't own a real camera because they're too expensive. God bless America. Stupid fat fingers. Just dropping stuff all over the place. So why'd you pick the Sony? What's it got? What's it got that you want? Right, that's 2. No, I already pulled out a bunch of these. So we're replacing the Phillips head with hex, and also as an added bonus, they are black to match the case instead of silver. You know, because matching is important. Headphone jack. How important was the headphone jack to your decision? I know my phone. I have Pixel 8A, 9A, one of those two. Which, you know, I picked because of the Google ecosystem and the fact that basically I've sold my soul to Google. You know, all my home automation is Google and stuff, so. Alright, so I'm going to do this. See, they have hex for the bottom. See, now the whole board is a uniform bit. I mean, why wouldn't you do this, KBD fans? Maybe you will in a Mark III. Who knows? For the Mark II, we're going to call it a miss. Oh, really? Oh, that's nice. What exactly does DAC do for you? I know people love it. I know people talk about it. But what is DAC? And why is it so gosh darned important? Alright, we're gonna actually put you two back. By the time I'm done with rebuilding keyboards and giving them proper screws, I'm going to have a stack, just a bucket of tiny Phillips head screws. Anyway, I'm not sure how that's going to be, but we're going to see. What's up, Klexics? We're building the KBDPad MkII. I thought I had enough keycaps in my retro mix lights, but I don't, so I'm going to go grab another set. But first, we are going to open day 14 of the Advent Switch Oddities Switch calendar, Advent calendar. I've gotten some really interesting stuff out of it so far, and we'll look at some of that too. It's right here. Here's my Advent calendar. I'm opening them every one a day. Usually I open it the next day, the night before. Don't ask me why, but for today, I made sure that I did not do it so that I could open it and we could find out what's in here. Come on, something good. And today we have keycaps. That's a tiny little space bar. Some more blanks, and one more blank. Ooh, it's a blank that has a dot. That's interesting. So it would be this. That's neat. So some of the stuff that we've gotten so far. A lot of switches I have yet to identify. We've gotten a couple of Hall effect switches, like this guy right here, that the top is so transparent, it kind of looks like it's not even there. But actually has a pretty good sound. There's another one that I got that actually has an even better sound, but it's downstairs. I'll grab it. This guy, who I have yet to identify, but it's a KTT switch, and it's a silent, so it's like a mint, I think. Just all kinds of stuff. This year, the thing that has happened a lot is individual hot swap sockets. I've gotten probably about maybe a dozen of them in different colors, different profiles. Here's a whole bag of them that was with it. Here's another one. This guy, which is a tactile. I love this was one day, just one day. It was so hard for me to get it out of the thing. Oh, that's interesting. I never even thought about that. I'm still learning. I haven't even finished my board. My this board yet, but I have the case printed. I installed hot swap sockets on one of the boards, and I was trying to test it. It wasn't working, and I got frustrated, and I stopped. I gotta go back. But yeah, unscannable. Yeah, just a giant unscannable button. We've got this guy right here, which could be useful on one of my other boards. I wish it wasn't just gray though. And then we ended up getting a black and a white relegendable, R1 or R4 depending on how you're counting it. Those I will probably use on something in the future. I've been thinking about redoing, getting into putting in things into the relegendables. What else? This guy. There was a whole bunch of these teal bottom switches in different flavors. Like 3 on one day and 1 on another. So this is a brown, obviously, and it feels like brown. This is a red, feels like a red. I don't know what this guy is, but he's pretty cool. Got a good sound. And then this is another kind of tactile. And then this guy. Just so many interesting things. I love the Advent calendar. I've gotten it for the past 3 or 4 years, basically since he started doing them. And I've loved every year. This is a Sugar Rush that I just destroyed somehow. Just so many good things. Anyway, I'm gonna step away for a moment and grab another set of keycaps. I'm gonna go grab the Ghost Judge neon that I have. That is just the numpad that somebody sent me for free. And I'll be right back. So don't go nowhere, and we will finish this guy up. See how it goes. Okay. And back. When I get excited about things, do I talk too fast? Just wondering. Asking for a friend. So somebody had pulled out basically a 65% out of here or something, and then I think they sold that, and so they just had what was left sitting around. I'm like, I'll take it. I can always use it. And I can, and we will. And we're going to do it like this. Drop it like it's hot. Got a print screen. I'll put a print screen there. That's nice. Okay. And here we go. Let's go ahead and plug it up. See if it works. Let me grab a keyboard to go with it. There. And of course, if I'm grabbing a keyboard right now, I'm gonna grab this. So some of you may have seen this. I recently posted it to my Discord, but I've changed out the keycaps this morning to a little Asume action, and oh my god, I love it. And yeah, so let's do this. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Because apparently I dislike my YouTube fans. Where's my chat box? Alright, somebody say something. I want to see if my chat box is working. Why it's not. We're going to come back to that. Alright, so let's go ahead and reprogram this for what I got, which is print screen, and then mute, volume down, volume up. Everything else is correct. Let's go to our lighting. I don't see my lighting. So there might be a problem there. Oh yeah, this is how it sounds now. Check it out. And this is how this sounds. Actually, this is really nice sounding. Yeah, this is beautiful. This is not bad. I wish the RGB were working. I don't know why it's not working. So let's see. Is there? Actually, I know. Let's go back here. Let's see about the configure. It doesn't have a toggle, so maybe it would. Maybe. There. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. There we go. So we should be able to function, and then this. Or I need to assign that to a function. Here. Yep, didn't like that. Oh, I know why. I'm dumb. I'm still here. This needs to be ammo. No, this needs to be ammo 1. Can still be ammo 1. Or not. Maybe it just doesn't work. Sad. Still works as number pad. Who cares about RGB? I guess. But it does show up immediately. You don't require a JSON file for this. I don't know if y'all noticed that, but it came up just fine. And let's see. It is not available anymore, but retailed for $88. Is anybody who's still here? Does anybody want this? Nice little number pad. Anybody can make use of this? No? Because I'll just give it to you for shipping. Right now. First person says they want this. I'll ship it out at least by Wednesday. Keycaps and all. As long as you live in the United States. Sorry, let me amend that. I'm not shipping outside the United States. Too much hassle. I don't know anything about shipping outside the United States, so. If not, then I will just keep it. I think it's nice. Like that brass plate. Alright, I guess. Going once. Going twice. Keeping it anyway. Alright. Well then, that's cool. So yeah. This is the my rebuild of the, let's move that out of the way. We'll even move that numpad and we'll bring it. We'll just keep it down here. Alright. It's like a happy little keyboard. If anybody changes their mind, let me know. You heard it? You say, hey, the adept, I would love that. I will go ahead and send it to you. Apparently nobody needs a numpad anymore. So, alright. I also changed this one, as you can see. These are dice-up clones, so this is not actually Terra Below. But for my purposes, they work. I do have sort of the same issue with the spacebar. There's just a little bit of a tick. Same thing with the shift, but not on the inner, interestingly enough. This would also have underglow, but it doesn't work in here. But this is the EC. So yeah, if you ever thought about getting the Agar, I highly recommend it. I think it's a great keyboard, and I love it in either configuration. I love this weight. I think it looks wonderful. You can see all the innards on this one, so I do have the foam in place, along with the this is the pogo pin connector, which has the winding ad break, which has the winding FR4 connection to the daughter board. The daughter boards, which are unique to each type of keyboard. So if you have mechanical, that uses one type of daughter board, and if you have the EC, it uses a different daughter board. So you have to actually switch them, which is kind of why I wanted a second one. They just come out. You can see this one actually says, don't mind the fact that I actually ripped that, but it says Agar EC. This just doesn't stay up, and even when it wasn't torn, it did not stay up. It's always ticking me off. This one did not work out the way I wanted. Now you can use the included crochet hook to get him out, but you should be able to just do that and it should release. You can see the innards here. Love it. This PC, just very nice. There's a rough spot right here. I don't know. I think it's just schmutz. I think it's just schmutz. Keyboard rests on these. Just drops in. You can hear the pogo connector connect. Make sure it's down on all sides. It is. It's great. And then, like, even with the lighting off, I mean, this is just a beautiful keyboard. All right. I think for now that actually might be my entire stream. So I think I am going to look for someone to raid. What do you say? We do that. Make kind of a short stream today. Next week, I promise it will be longer with the Haven, which I am so excited about. Let's see, any keyboarders? Does not look like. What do you say we raid Enthusa Amy? She is a actress and gamer. She's been on extensive Geek and Sundry stuff, let's do that. Again, I appreciate everybody showing up for the streams. It's always, and sticking around if you're part of the raid. It means so much to me, everybody, because it's kind of, lonely out here. But yeah, until next Sunday, thanks for being here, and let's go ahead and raid Enthusa Amy. She's playing an old 8-bit game, looks like.